Hi there, I'm Dara from Lūpa Media Player, and today I'll be showing you some of the features of Lūpa and how to set it up. When you purchase Lūpa, it will come in this retail packaging. Upon opening, you'll be greeted with this quick start guide that will give you all the info you need to get started. Inside the box is the unit itself, a power adapter that will be compatible to your region, and all the cables you need to get started are included with Lūpa and just below this insert. Removing the unit itself, you can see all the ports on Lūpa are clearly marked on the lid. Turning it to the side, we can see the micro USB power input, HDMI output for video and audio, 3.5mm headphone jack, which not only outputs audio but can double as a composite video output via an RCA cable for standard definition video playback on older TVs. Turning it around to the front, we can see an Ethernet port that is used for communication between loopers in sync mode. And finally, two USB ports, one for loop mode and the other for sync mode. This is the main way you'll interact with Lūpa. You just simply put your USB stick in with your H.264 MP4 video into either of these ports to activate either loop mode or sync mode. When you turn on Lūpa, it will detect which mode you would like to use and then automatically find your video and either loop it continuously, or in sync mode, Lūpa will automatically find any other players it's connected to via its network cable and play its video back in sync with the other loopers. Lūpa was designed to save you time and be installed fast. We embedded magnets in Lūpa's case which allow you to attach Lūpa to any metal surface behind your display device. You can see the magnets are nice and strong and will hold Lūpa quite securely. Laid out here is a simple 2-channel video sync setup. We have our 2 televisions, 2 Lūpa units, and a network switch. Our cables are already plugged into our players, HDMI cable for audio and video. We have our micro USB power, our USB stick with our H.264 MP4 video ready to go, and finally an Ethernet cable which is plugged into our network switch. In order to allow Lūpa to communicate with each other in sync mode, you will need to connect each of the loopers to a network switch or router. Lūpa is compatible with almost every router or network switch on the market. Lūpa doesn't require any connection to the internet to work, and network switches can usually be purchased for under $20 Australian. Lūpa has no limitation to the length or data size of your video. All you need to do is format your USB in the exFAT format, and then you can transfer any file size you want. We have tutorials on our website about how to format as exFAT on Mac and PC, as well as export presets for exporting your video from Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro, so you get the best quality and compatibility for Lūpa and take the guesswork out of the export process. Lastly, although Lūpa does come with a power adapter and micro USB cable with a switch on it, Lūpa can also be powered from almost any USB port on your TV or projector. This means that when your TV or projector is turned on with the remote, Lūpa will also power on too, greatly simplifying your daily turn on and off routines. All you need is one remote then. In our setup here, Lūpa is being powered from the USB ports on these 2 televisions. Let's turn on Lūpa now in sync mode. Lūpa requires that one of the players in the sync to be turned on first before you turn on any other players. It doesn't matter which one it is, and a good rule of thumb is to wait until you see the first player start playing its video before you turn on the other players. This allows the first Lūpa to turn on and let the other players know that it's the boss or master. Once the first player is on, you can turn on the rest of the players in the sync, no matter how many there are. Lūpa can support up to an incredible 255 players connected together in a sync. So now we'll turn on our first player using the remote. This particular brand of television displays its logo first, which we can see here. But now Lūpa is booting. Lūpa is now detecting which of the ports has a USB stick plugged into, and will begin the process of booting and syncing. The video that you will see is a test video that has been created to show off sync mode. The video features a few different shots that will change every few seconds. Lūpa will begin playing the video any moment now. Here you can see the video is now playing. We'll now turn on the other player in our sync using the remote. Again, we see the TV logo, and now Lūpa is beginning to boot. The video we'll see on this side will contain the same shots, but they won't be played in the same order. These shots will cut at the same time across both channels, so this is a sort of stress test for syncing video, where often you don't have the exact same video playing but shots may cut at the same time. And on these cuts is where you will see things are in sync or not. As this second player turns on, both screens will go black for half a second as they restart their videos and communicate with each other, and finally sync their video together. And there we go, we're now in sync. You can see in this video that the shots are cutting at the same time and therefore are in sync. I have turned off sound on these TVs for the purposes of this video, but the audio for these videos are now playing via HDMI through the TV speakers, as well as out of the headphone jack too, so you can select either way to play sound. Now that we're playing, you can see how simple it is to achieve a sync with Lūpa. We designed it for anyone to use, so you don't need any technical expertise to set up syncing. Just plug in and play. I'll now demonstrate loop mode. Firstly, I'll switch the USB stick into the loop port. Now I'll turn on the TV with the remote, which will power on the player. Again, we see the TV logo. And now Lūpa is booting, and in a moment Lūpa will find the video on the USB stick and start playing it continuously until you turn it off. And there we go, we're now playing. So that's loop mode, nice and easy. A small note is that you don't need an Ethernet cable or a network switch to use loop mode at all, as all it's doing is turning on, finding your video, and playing it continuously. We have lots of information on our website and in our help pages, including how to use the advanced features of Lūpa, our export presets, and other useful tips and tricks to using Lūpa. Thanks for watching.